Hello, mathematical fifth grade thinkers. Today, our learning goal, you should be able to say, I will be able to solve percent problems by writing and solving proportions. Now, you've already been working with proportions and setting up ratios and rates as proportions. And now we're just going to throw in percents, which can be represented as ratios. So here we go. If a basketball player made 45% of his shots during practice, if he made 36 shots, how many total shots did he take? So what we have here is a part to whole ratio that we're using. So let me get out my marker, and we are told that he makes 45%. Now you should recognize that 45% means 45 out of 100. So 100 is the total shots taken for this ratio. So that's his percent. Now, we also know that he made 36 shots. So that is our part. And how many total shots did he take? And that's what we're trying to figure out. So I'll use an S for total shots taken, and that is our whole. That is the whole value. And you should know now that we can use cross products. So 3600 equals 45S. And if we have 45S, we want to know what 1S is. We need to divide by 45. And we find out that the number of shots he took is 80. So 80 total shots taken. So if he made 45% of his shots and he made 36 shots, that means he took 80 shots. So here I have given you a couple scenarios with math quiz. So if Stacy scored an 85% on her math quiz and she got 34 questions right, how many questions were on the quiz? So this is a part to whole ratio as we just did. So you're going to set up the proportion here, and you should have the part or the number of questions correct out of the whole or the total number of questions. And over here, Victor scored 72% on his quiz. If he answered 18 correctly, how many did he miss? So here they don't ask us what's the total number of questions. They tell us how many correct and ask how many he missed. So we have one part and we need to find the other part. So we can put those into our proportion here and solve. So I'll give you some time to pause and work on those. All right. So if over here our part is 85%. So 85 out of 100 questions total. And we also know that she got 34 questions right. So that would be our equivalent part over here. And we don't know the total number of questions on the quiz. That's the question we're trying to figure out. So we'll use T. When you cross multiply, 85T equals 3,400. And again, we have to divide to find out what 1T is equal to. So hopefully you found that T is equal to 40 questions. On a 40 question quiz, 34 questions correct would be 85%. And over here, a part to part ratio. So we know this one's a little trickier because we know he scored 72%, which is 72 out of 100, but we're comparing the parts. So we need to compare the number correct, so 72% correct, and what percent was incorrect? Well, we have to subtract 72 from 100, which is 28. So that might have thrown you off. If you put 100 there, then you won't get the answer we're looking for. So then our part here is that he answered 18 correctly. So for our equivalent ratio, we have 18 correct. And we were wondering how many did he miss? So I will put M for missed questions. And once again, cross multiply. And 28 times 18, I did the math ahead of time, so 504. And one last time, we divide to find out what 1m is equal to. And that would be 7. So if Victor scored 72% and he got 18 correct, that means he missed 7 questions. So at this point, hopefully you are prepared to work on the journal and the lessons and say, I can solve percent problems by writing and solving proportions.